3 of Unit 6 is permutations. So what is a permutation? It's a new word for you, and it means an arrangement of a set of objects in which the order of the objects is important. So we call this a permutation. So when would the order of a set of objects be important? Well, if we are arranging letters to form words, the order is important, obviously, because CAT spells cat, and CTA spells something else, and ATC spells something else, etc. So words are definitely most common example of when order is important. So how many permutations or arrangements are there of the letters of the word Regina, for example? So you could do this question the same way that we did in day 1. So we have 6 spots to fill, 6 letters to go in the first spot, then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we can multiply, and you see that we end up with just 6 factorial. So I'm going to leave the answer just like that. Kelowna, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 factorial. Okay, so we can generalize this formula by saying the number of permutations or arrangements if we have n different objects in total, but we're only taking r at a time, is denoted by this formula right here, NPR. So a lot of your calculators will have an NPR button, even just the little scientific ones. The graphing calculator has an NPR function where you would find the factorial notation. So we write the number of objects right here represented by n, and the number of objects that we are choosing at a time is r, and then we have n factorial all over and minus r factorial. So we're going to use this formula for the next few questions, although you could still solve these next questions the same way that you've been solving them for the past couple days. Let's see what we have here. We're going to practice with the permutation formula to see how many arrangements there are of 2 letters from the word golden. So you know what, first I'm going to solve this the way that we would have a couple days ago. So if we want 2-letter words, and golden has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, we would go, well, 6 could go on the first spot. That leaves us with 5 in the second, and we get 30. When it says 2 letters from the word golden, we're assuming that we're choosing 2 different letters. So for all of these questions, we'd be considering them to be no repetition allowed. So we get 30. Now let's try this using our permutation formula. So NPR, where n is the total number of objects. In this case, we have 6 letters. So 6P. R is how many objects we are taking at a time. In this case, we are taking 2 letters at a time. So we'd have 6P2. If we apply our formula, we have now 6 factorial, right, n factorial, over 6 minus r, which is 2 factorial. So this is 6 factorial over 4 factorial, which is 6 times 5. If I multiplied further by, I'm going to run out of space here, 4 factorial all over 4 factorial, you see that the 4 factorials cancel to leave me with just 6 times 5, which is the same as what we got doing it the other way. So for the next couple examples, let's try it just using the permutation formula. So 3 letters from the word chapters. So NPR, where n represents the total number of objects. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters and chapters. And we are choosing 3 at a time, so 8p3. So this is 8 factorial over 8 minus 3 factorial. So this is 8 factorial over 5 factorial, which is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial over 5 factorial. 5 factorials cancel, and I'm left with 8 times 7 times 6, which is 336. I actually have them worked out today. Okay, one last one. 4 letters from the word wealth. So NPR, where N is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, and we are picking 4 for our word. So 6 factorial, over 6 minus 4 factorial. This is 6 factorial over 2 factorial. So 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 factorial all over 2 factorial. So 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 is 360. So maybe practice doing them this way by simplifying, but once you can do this, try using the function on your calculator to evaluate it without doing all the steps. So on your calculators, on your TI-83s, you will have to enter in the 8 first, for example, then choose the NPR button, and then enter in 3 for the R. So give that a try, make sure you can get the same answers.